And another point, it's the middle of the day. Where's your shade?
We have none.
Well, where are the cows? They're out here grazing, right?
Yeah.
If I were to go down the road a few miles here, I could go to a number of different farms that are grazing conventionally, and I would have to go to the shade right now, this time of day, to find their cattle.
Yes.
Very few of them would be out actively grazing like this. What are the differences here? Why are your cattle able to be out in the sun in this heat in July in Missouri and actively grazing and breeding, and the neighbors' cattle are hunting the shade?
We've been working hard to have adapted cattle for many years. We tried several different breeds. We found several that would never work for us. Couldn't handle it. We thought we were killing them. Beef Masters did well for us, and we went from Beef Masters to South Poles about 12 years ago. And the South Poles have been amazing. They're bred to be the mama cow of the South, and they've just done really well.
So this is an important point. So no matter where you're located, everybody has their climate challenges, right?
Yes.
Heat, cold, whatever, humidity, whatever it may be, wind. So it's actually important to spend time selecting breeds, genotype and phenotype that will work in that environment.
Adapted to your environment.
Exactly. So y'all are basically giving every heifer an opportunity to breed, right?
Right.
And you've discovered that in your breeding program, natural selection is doing a far better job for you than our eye and data we have on paper, right?
Oh, absolutely. And we did this. We followed, there's 3 people we really followed in breeding heifers this way, allowing nature to pick them, which, you know, it's the best system we found. The reason we went to it was we had Tom Lassiter, founder of the Beef Masters. That's where I first heard about it. Give everybody a chance. You don't pick because of how they look or what color they are. Johan Zeitzman, rancher from Zimbabwe. And he ended up that this is the way you have to do it. And Burke Teichert. Burke said they used to get the best experts they could find, and all the, you know, including himself, to pick the heifers. And when they compared that to the ones they let the ranch nature pick, there's no comparison. We using EPDs, using all they could. It's nature who will pick out your best heifer for her environment. And when you do that, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and it's pretty easy. In fact, I told you, Tom Lassiter said that Mother Nature is smarter than us all. So I let her do all the thinking and most of the work, and that's the way this program works. We don't pick and choose. And it's surprising to see your big heifers that we always would think of as our best heifers. And then we have these smaller heifers that were a little, you know, they were feminine, but they were a little thinner or a little narrower maybe. But you wouldn't have kept her in the past. And these would be our prizes. And then you go to a 4-year-old and it's swapped. She's gone. The more masculine looking, we find that we like more masculine looking heifers. Most of us do. And they're not the ones you're looking for, but we don't pick because she's masculine. We don't cut her out because she looks like that. Through the breeding program, it's gonna call all that out. And you end up with the kind that fit what you do here on the farm.
Again, I have to admit something here. My formal training and what I taught at the universities when I was on faculty was genetics and reproductive physiology. So I'm a geneticist and reproductive physiologist by formal training, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I used to think I was so smart in being able to, I'm a geneticist, right? I can select heifers. And so I would use EPDs and all other types of measurements, reproductive tract scores, pelvic area scoring, you name it. So I selected the conventional scientific way for quite a few years. And what I found was that in my own herd, so I always had my own cattle as well, in my own herd, boy, I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger cattle, less efficient, harder fleshing, harder doing, even though I was supposedly selecting these very best in all the EPD trait categories for even efficiency. And I also found that, one of the things that I would do is I would go out there and check my heifers for calving every 4 hours around the clock, and had them in a specific calving pasture. And every year we would pull calves, we would have abnormal presentations, things like that. And we had a lot of those heifers that I selected fall out through the years. So when I left the university and we totally switched to adaptive management, we did exactly the same thing. We started giving every heifer, no matter what, she got a chance to breed, to calve it too. So when she turned 14 to 16 months of age, they were exposed to bulls. We gave them a 45-day period. What bred, they bought a ticket to the cow herd. And what didn't breed, they were gone, and we turned them into meat.
So you're breeding adaptive.
We're breeding adaptive
adaptive
heifers.
grazing.
Right.
It's so simple that you can't really believe it can work so well.